we're adding Jax.
Is it working? Yes! She's coming on! We
Yeah.
did it!
We got this. Here.
We did it!
We did it.
We did it.
Can you
we
guys
did it.
hear me? I can't hear.
I can hear Jax. You can you not?
I can hear you both.
You guys are like low for me. So okay, but if y'all can hear, that's all that matters.
Awesome.
All
and
right,
Jax,
all right,
just so you know, we see your
loves
beautiful.
for joining us here. Seesters and I, Tangi's and Rika. I'm Vivi Angélica. We're the Wealth Magic Seesters, and we're here to welcome this dear soul magical sister. Now, Jax Faulkner is a multi-passionate light leader by trade, laid-back mom of two by heart, and she's known for her unorthodox approach to business and her willingness to disrupt all limitations cast upon her since she was a child. I love that. Yes, clear, cancel all the disruption limitations. She's proudly integrated innovative leverage wealth generating systems with her spiritual businesses and has made it her duty to assist ambitious soul-led entrepreneurs to shift from running a business to co-creating an empire. Oh my God, I love that. So.
Yes.
Woo, wings out, crowns tingling. So, my question was, what was your line in the sand moment that made you say yes to this business, and how has it transformed your vision for what's possible?
So this answer changes like every day. And as I've evolved and continue to evolve, and also the energy exchange of who I'm actually sharing space with, I want to tell you that my line in the sand moment was the moment I was born. And if I could really be honest with trailing back to every single moment that has led to the next moment, that's led to the next moment, I was always being prepared for the initiation and becoming an energetic match to the energy of Enagic. Because Enagic to me is a very powerful, ancient, innovative and advanced Atlantean entity. And so it's never been me, it's never been a moment of saying yes to Enagic, because Enagic already said yes to me. It was a moment of becoming an energetic match to the version of me who was capable and willing to hold the responsibility that Enagic has offered me and my soul in this lifetime. On a human level, it looked like, feeling like my life was ending at 35. The experience of just getting by, the experience of not really feeling excited for my future. I was not excited for a future of 20 years in hospitality. That's the truth. And I could say, oh, I didn't have money. Yes, there is a version of that. There's a version of that story. But on a soul level, my soul was like, bitch, you're not meant to be doing this for another 20 years. You didn't come here to just survive. No. So we're going to push you to your edge, introduce Enagic through an ayahuasca journey, right? Because I was introduced to the free web class 7 months prior to making the decision that I was worthy of taking this role. But it was the nudge of the spirit in an ayahuasca journey, which was very clear for me, that was like, choose a timeline. Are you going to repeat the one that your mum did and that your ancestors did, or are you actually going to come here and change the timeline for you all? So, of course, being 35 and having already lost every worldly possession that I had, I didn't have anything to lose. I had everything to actually rebuild. It was like my Atlantis had fallen for me, and it was up to me to build it again for myself. And so this was an initiation into that. And that was my human line in the sand moment, was like, hang on. And it was this time 6 years ago. This time 6 years ago was when I was like, you know what? Christmas is coming next year as well, and the year after that, and the year after that. The version of reality that I've come here to change is the one that's really seeing what these festive seasons are. They're just a repetitive reason to escape reality, when I really want a reality I don't want to escape from. So I'm going to forego this Christmas. I'm going to sacrifice this Christmas and lock myself in my room and get to work. And I did, because I didn't start knowing anything about the digital era or the digital anything, or what we like Anarchic or anything. So I made myself study over Christmas, because I thought, if this is the last Christmas I'm ever going to be in this situation where I feel like I'm drowning, but I have to sacrifice this Christmas. Not a lot of people do that. And a lot of people are still, and I will say it, there are a lot of light leaders that are still so enslaved by the landscape that we came here to change. Oh, Christmas, oh, birthdays, oh, all of that stuff, when it's all an illusion. It's all an illusion, right? It's all just part of this picture that has kept us so redundant from our true reason why we came here, to shift timelines, to change structures, to raise consciousness. We can't raise consciousness whilst enslaved and stuck to the consciousness we came to change.
Yeah.
There's so much that we have to journey, and that was a line in the sand moment for me, was really truly deciding to put to bed the reasons that I gave myself that I couldn't have the life of my dreams and become who I wanted to be, even though I didn't really know who that was. I just knew I was bored with who I was. And that's how the universe signals to us. That's how our spirit signals to us. They're like, you're bored, do something about it, right? And that was that moment for me, and I haven't looked back since.
Wow. Like, you just talking, like I've been like teary-eyed the whole time that you've been talking about your story and your line in the sand moment. Like, it's really powerful, because, you know, V and I were also in the hospitality business too. We were bartenders, and I mean, V can attest to, like, every year she's like, I'm done.
Every New Year's Eve, I would say, okay, this is my last New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
And then January come around, and I'd still be bartending, and it just kills your soul when you're like, I'm done, and then you still have to do it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Absolutely. It takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of faith and courage. And it really is the same experience of jumping over the cliff and not knowing your wings are going to open. It's the same experience. That is why the matrix of survival exists. It's the cliff.
Yeah.
Right? And it's very few of us that will jump over that cliff in trusting that our wings will open.
Yes. It's taking that leap of faith.
But the more and more of us that do it, all we're doing is creating new evidence that it's true.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for that. My next question for you is, what did it actually take to create a way out of no way, and to really step fully into this opportunity and this business model, and to really see it? And even when it felt impossible, like, what did it actually take? Well,
it did feel impossible. Absolutely felt impossible for someone like me. I didn't have a regular income. I had to, and you guys know my story, but those that are watching that don't. 6 years ago, 35 years old, I had $5 in my bank account, and I used that $5 to go to this local supermarket to buy a can opener so I could open a money tin that I had started saving my children's trip to Disneyland. And I would given myself 10 years to be able to like save for that. And I'd only just started saving probably that year in 2018. But at that time, I was so desperate to buy food for my children when they came to visit. And so I had to open that money tin and I told myself, I'll pay it back, right? I'll pay it back. And I think that's a very Filipino thing, because my mum used to do stuff like that all the time, but she never paid it back, right? She would borrow money from her kids and never pay it back. This is the thing. So again, you know, so like that was my actual real circumstance. So if there was anyone in the world that could not make this happen from a logical point of view, it was definitely me. But that's that for me. A lot of people would see that as an end. For me, it was a beginning. It was exciting. After I cried a lot of tears, and I tried to get loans. I couldn't get loans. I had a very poor credit rating because of past experiences, as we all do. I don't know any, well, like I genuinely believe, like, know that there's probably 80%, maybe even 90% of the collective that can't get loans because of past money experiences. Yeah. But the thing that what is the problem with that is that we've created stories around that have dwindled our life force and dwindled our spirit and dwindled our creative abilities because of this blanket statement around being in debt. It's just a joke. It's an actual joke. We're not actually seeing the structures pragmatically. We feel like it's a threat rather than a challenge. So I had to choose to shift my mindset from it being a threat to a challenge. And I was like, well, let's go. And of course, because I was so willing to do whatever it took, and I thought of all the things. I thought of selling my car. I couldn't do that because my car was only $900. I needed a larger investment. It's this, you know, this for me was I wanted to go all in. I wasn't just going to give me the cheapest entry point. That didn't feel aligned with who I really knew I wanted to become. And when I made the decision that a multi-millionaire was my destiny in that moment, that I thought at 35, the statistics are millionaires really don't actually start their journey till they're 40, right? At that point, you know, and also millionaires have at least lost their businesses at least once. So I had to rewrite my own story with how I was going to become a multi-millionaire. And so from there, I then thought, okay, cool. So I'm making the decision that I am going to be, and nothing is going to stop me, and I have to become who I need to be. So I have to make bigger, bolder decisions. And I had to treat this first initiation of starting the business, which is very minimal starting costs for an actual multi-million-dollar business, by the way.
Right.
It's minimal. It's like, it's pocket money. It really is extraordinary. I had to treat that like it was $5 because to a multi-millionaire it is. So I had to shift my energy from, rather than seeing it as this big scary number that I didn't have, it was like, well, what if I could just ask someone as if it was just $5? What's the distance? There's no difference, right? There's no actual difference to it except for the weight of energy that we give to it. And so, and then also on top of that, I was shown a movie. I started watching this movie out of nowhere. And of course, I just know it was spirit. I know it was my guides. And in this movie, this character, it was the movie Limitless with Matthew McConaughey? No, Bradley Cooper, right? And that movie Limitless. And there was a scene in the movie that really stood out to me where he needed to loan $250,000 to get these drugs, right? And he asked a drug dealer, like a gangster. And then the gangster said, like, you don't pay back by a certain time, I'll take your knees. And I was like, am I willing to give my knees for this? And I was like, yeah, I'm willing to give my knees. I'm actually willing to give my knees. I'm willing. That's how much faith I had in the decision that I'd made to become a multimillionaire, to make this moment the beginning of my story. I had to let go of the old story, and I made this moment the beginning of my story. And I was just like, no, my stage story is going to be at 35, I made a big decision. By the time I was 45, I was a multimillionaire. That's my story, right? That's the one that I'm going to share. So from there, everything shifted in the way that I related to debt and related to it. All I needed was a foot in the door. And so I was like, okay, so do I know any drug dealers that I could ask? I did. I was like, I actually don't know any drug dealers. I wish I did. This is very minimal money for a drug dealer, right? And I was like, I don't know drug dealers. I thought, oh, I can be a stripper again. I've been a stripper before. But again, that was too long. I needed it now. Too many people say, I will save for it. Every single person that told me they save for it, they never save for it. They're still in the same position, right? Because it's a mindset thing. It's a safety thing. You cannot have different results by staying and remaining where you feel safe. It's not possible. You will not grow. So I needed it now, not in 3 months, which I could have done if I was a dancer. Again, it wasn't my path. I didn't want to wait. I was like, how can I have it now? There are people in the world that are making $1 million deals now. Why can I not do this now? What is in my way? And what I discovered was in my way was a fear of what people thought of me.
Yep.
So I had to face off with that, because I was like, well, why does it matter? Does it matter what people think of me? If they think I'm an idiot for asking, that's my problem. Like, it's like, why would I make that about me? Like, why would I even care? Because I know that I'm going to be a multimillionaire, and they're going to be grateful they helped me, because that's what I made the decision on. And so with that in my heart, I called every single person, as many people as I could, in my phone book. Some I didn't even know hardly. Some I hadn't spoken to in years. But I called and I asked directly. And I said, instead of coming from the place of, oh, I just have this business thing that I want to do, and I'm wondering if you'll be able to help me, like, energetically, it's just not aligned with success. But because of the framework, or the mind shift that I had made, I called and I said, yo, I need your help. I found it. This is it. All I need is a foot in the door. You're going to be so grateful you helped me. I'm going to be so wildly successful, and you are going to thank me for asking you.
Wow.
All I needed was one, and I got one. But I was relentless in my pursuit, because I made the decision that I will not stop until I get a yes. Too many people stop before, and so many, like, I didn't know anyone's circumstances prior to calling them. I didn't care. I left it to God. I didn't go, I don't really know anyone that could help me. That is not hunting. That is not what we came here to do and create. By doing that is just falling in the trap of the slavery consciousness. Isn't that what we're here to change?
Yes.
So we have to behave differently, and we have to choose differently, and we have to dig deep to our own resource of courage. Resourceful. The resources are attracted to the resourceful.
Yeah.
Resourcefulness is attractive to resources. Not resources are attracted to resources. That it just neutralizes it out, right?
Yeah.
And so that was my long-winded story, but I feel like you get it.
No.
Oh, it's powerful. I love your storytelling.
Like activating us right now, to be honest. It's like you're activating us.
Yeah, you absolutely are. I think that's the reason why I'm so teary-eyed.
The one thing that I feel is really important to mention is that it's not meant to be easy to initiate. And the reason why we initiate and we move through those mountains is because we are therefore then choosing to become who we need to be to hold the responsibility of the multi-million-dollar empire, or whatever it is to someone. To someone, it may not be multi-million-dollar empire. That's fine. It might be just an extra 200K a year. Perfect. That still requires a level of initiating into a version of yourself that you haven't been yet. It's the truth. Otherwise, you would already have the extra $200,000 a year. You wouldn't want it. You wouldn't desire it if you were already that. So we have to change who we are.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like I just went through this month-long initiation in Mexico, shifting, up leveling, and just like collapsing timelines and collapsing who I was. I'm not the same person I was a month ago.
Yeah.
Not meant
Completely
to be.
understand.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's not like this next question. I feel like it's not the business model that shifted your relationship with money and abundance. I feel like you shifted your relationship with money and abundance and attracted the business model. Is that correct? It's like, so
The business is just a vehicle. It's
yeah.
just a stream, or it's just a timeline.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a neutral timeline. It's like the difference between a river that has minimal fish versus a river just upstream that has more fish. That is the neutrality of the business, right? It's up to us to learn how to adjust from being in a river with not much fish and settling for that versus who do we have to become to learn how to fish faster, how to fish wiser. It's like it's us that moves, not the actual models. Like all of the models are so neutral. So the business is just a stream that has more fish. But I've only learned, like most of my life, I've only known how to settle for a couple of fish because that's how I've been trained to trade time for money, right? We learn different skills on how to fish more. And when we fish more, we feed more, right? So the problem is that so many people have stories around the fishing and being greedy, but we fish to feed. Wealth, the more wealth we have, the more wealth we can give to others. So I had to move through the terrain. We all have to move through the terrain between the river that has less fish to the river that has more fish. It may be an obstacle course of some sort to get to higher grounds, but that's the journey that we've got to take. And then when we get there, we have to learn new skills. It's a never-ending thing. It's not just about getting to the stream, but if you get to the stream and you only know how to catch 5 fish a day versus 50, you'll only ever catch 5 fish a day in a stream that can give you 50.
Mm-hmm.
So it's you get to the stream and then you're surrounded by others who have mastered the skills of catching 50 fish, and you learn from them. That's why we get to the stream. But a lot of people get to the stream and think they're at the stream and then their life is going to change and they're going to feed everyone, but they can only catch 5 fish a day, and they're so like, no, but I'm here at the stream. It's supposed to just give me the 50 fish.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of saying, I need to learn now. I'm at the stream. I have been gifted this opportunity to be at this stream. Now I have to learn. And you won't catch 50 fish the first day. You'll catch 5 fish. You'll catch 5 fish for the first year because the current is different to what you're used to. But then the next year you start to catch 25 fish. And then you start compounding because of your skills. Whereas the other river will only give you 5 fish a day, no matter how many years you're at that river.
Mm.
Well, have you noticed a way of manifesting now because of the business rather than before, because of the tools? Or
I think it's less about manifesting and more about getting gritty.
gritty. Got it.
It's about getting our feet in the earth and our hands dirty.
Yes.
Because this is the problem with the spiritual community, and I will say it. Too many are in the sky.
Yeah.
In the ethers. I get it. You're gifted. Ether, great. But where is it actually mattering as matter?
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of people really look at my story and go, wow, you've changed. I'm like, good, because I am in the ground. I'm doing the work on the earth. I'm changing what needs to be changed in my lifestyle, in who I am from the inside out. and I'm putting it all to work. I'm challenging myself. I'm making it a big deal to make sales. I need to catch fish. I didn't get to this river to not catch more fish. That's a joke. Give my spot to someone else if I'm just going to sit there and hope and wish the fish are attracted to me. Oh, no way. I need to become a better fisherman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Woo!
I think we need to turn this into a podcast episode, guys.
I know, I feel like it is.
I genuinely have never ever mentioned that fish analogy before. Like they just arrived, and I'm like, wow, that's actually really good.
Yeah,
that's amazing. I love it. Catching the bigger fish. Well, with that, when you were speaking to like the spiritual community, because I love that you're pinpointing that, pointing that out, because for us spiritual light workers, coaches, healers that have a big mission in the world, like how can this business model amplify their mission, their purpose seamlessly so that it can actually integrate into their other business as well, so that it can be scalable and sustainable?
Yeah. I have been in this space for 6 years, and for 5 years, I have been mastering the art of integrating this. The first port of call is to actually really take note on the stories that we have on this kind of structure. That is the first toxic stop. That is the first toxic stop. It's the stigma that has been crafted and created so perfectly for us to actually not really understand the potential of it. And I'll give you examples. MLM, pyramid scheme.
Yeah.
I don't like selling, all of that rubbish. That is such a redundant, primitive thought form. We didn't birth in this timeline to actually continue that thought form forward, right? So first, it's really important to actually be very pragmatic about it. A lot of people see this emotionally. There's a lot of spiritual community that see this emotionally. What will people think of me? But my brand, but I like heal, and money's wrong.
Yeah.
And I see, like, it's just a joke, really. And they're actually not independent in their own soul and consciousness of looking at this from a pragmatic point of view, from a creation point of view, because the way that it's been is the way that it's been because no one has created something new yet. Or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we didn't come here to just regurgitate the way it's been. And that's the more and more of us that see the model and the structure from a pragmatic, logical point of view, which means leveraging, which means community, which means uncapped wealth, which means uncapped time, right? It's like a solution of all solutions. It's also leadership. My leadership has just absolutely catapulted from singular me to able to actually hold so much capacity and leadership in my multidimensionality because of this. It's never been just about the fish. It's about teaching others how to fish too.
Yes.
Because there's no change in the world if it's just me that's fishing really well. So I learn from who I learn from. I learn what I learn. I embody what I learn by the results. Money is a measure, not a goal. The ranks are a measure of leadership, not a goal. Therefore, then, from there, I teach others how to do the same. So there's so many elements to this that is actually perfect for light leaders. Once they're willing to actually realize that where they're at is not where they're meant to be. If they're feeling underwhelmed at all, if they're struggling or suffering in any way in their relationships, in their finances, a lot is with finances, in their capacity of holding and anything, right? If they're willing to go, okay, ego out the door, it's not about me. let me take a look. This is why I find is where we're at a real precipice moment. I really foresee a lot more light leaders really seeing this in this way and go, oh wow, I can really see how this, and it's helped. It's literally changed the game for me as a light leader, because now I have volumes of income from multiple streams that are fulfilling to me, that is purposeful for me. I know, like, for me, I in all of the work that I do, whether it is retreats, coaching, Enagic, it all makes sense. It's all the same energy of abundance and giving and mentoring and a better world, right? And moving forward and advancing.
Yeah.
And they all work together. It co-creates. When you bring these entities together, they co-create really, really beautifully. So therefore, then, now, instead of facilitating a retreat completely dependent on these numbers, completely dependent on making sales, filling spots, because this is my livelihood, it's not there anymore, because I have a really healthy, abundant stream of income and wealth that is just, it is so much more growing to be had.
Yeah.
And that is huge, because there's a difference between a light slave, a light worker, and a light leader.
Yeah.
The light
Yes,
slave, right?
yes.
You already can feel the resonance of it. The light slaves versus light worker versus light leader. Light slaves are in complete denial of grounding the material. They're constantly manifesting and waiting for the right download and waiting for the signs, and then yet they cannot pay their rent on time. They struggle with, they're struggling with like worldly responsibilities, yet they have a story around it, like, I don't need money to do good things in the world. That is denial. That is light slavery, right?
Yeah.
We cannot help anyone evolve into higher consciousness, into higher dimensions, or in transcend consciousness when we're stuck in light slavery. You're not helping anyone. You're just, you maybe read a few books, done a few mantras, done a few meditations, gone through a few courses, yet if you haven't established real change in your life, you haven't materialized it, therefore you're still a light slave. Therefore, you're not breaking no chains, right? Then you've got the light workers. They're the ones that are out there facilitating their work, their healing work. And it's amazing, right? They're actually out there helping people, yet are completely dependent on their gifts to produce an income and impact. Therefore, then, what they're recycling is this model of stress and not full presence to their work. They don't have time for themselves because they're constantly working, giving their gifts and trying to make money from it. Great. It's a stage we go through. So these are stages. This is not like when you're here, you're stuck here. No way. Light leaders, light workers are the ones that, and I know this for a fact because I was this too, right? Until I decided and made a decision for advancement. And so what their struggle is the constant running a business and not actually having the opportunity to develop and evolve their gifts. They're constantly in stress, struggle. They've got their kids, they've got worldly responsibilities that they need to fill these spaces or coach or all these things. So they're kind of prostituting their gifts to earn an income. So this is the prostitution of gifts. If you don't have a healthy, abundant, and aligned model leveraged way to actually support this. Now, here's the thing. Then you've got light leadership, but here's the thing. A lot of light workers are like, I need an extra income. So then they align with a lower tier model. Yeah. It's not doing nothing for them. It's not advancement, because number one, they're stuck in trying to take the easy way. It's easier to sell a a $40 product
Mm-hmm.
than a $4,000 product. There's no alignment and evolution. There's nothing. There's no raising of consciousness there. All you're doing is staying stuck to a lower tier consciousness. How is that evolution?
Yeah.
Because all you're doing is trading more time for money, trading more time. You're literally just actually running two really hard businesses trying to get ahead. You see, it's just like energetically, it's a consciousness. It's not a judgment. It's taking an easier way when there's actually you think it's an easier way, but it's the harder way, but it's less challenging.
Yeah.
It's easier to sell at that level, and you're not helping anyone. You're not helping anyone, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But if you really want to step into light leadership, it is actually the advancement. Think of advancement and in all areas. And advancement requires challenge, and advancement requires new skills and new conversations, right? And so therefore then the reason why you would want to align with a higher tier, and for me, like Enagic, yes, because it is the higher tier, it offers higher consciousness of wealth, production, wealth consciousness. The conversations we have at this place, it's very normal to want to earn an extra $100,000 a month. Why wouldn't you want to be around that constant conversation where it's normalizing $100,000 months for everyday people as an extra? Why wouldn't you?
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
And so this is light leadership, because then we develop in a different way, where therefore then we're setting up structures and systems. Structures and systems are very important. Every single modality has a structure and system. Atlantis was designed within structures and systems, right? Mm. And so you have therefore then a structure and system that actually supports your gifts as opposed to your gifts supporting your system.
Yeah, yes.
Big difference. Yeah. Light workers have used their gifts, prostitute their gifts to support their system. Light leaders have the systems that support their gifts. Yeah. Therefore, when we're delivering, and you can probably feel my transmission, right? It's really deep, yet it's really light. Yeah. So it's the difference between how we're showing up as facilitators in our light work, because there's complete neutrality and that sense of what happens here is that more we access more, we feel more supported, right? We develop faster in our gifts because our life supports our gifts as opposed to our gifts supporting our life.
So much.
Yes.
So much.
Woo. This is a total transmission right now, guys. Everyone that's watching and watching the replay, hit hashtag replay if you are watching replay, because you're getting like a complete transmission with Jax right now.
Oh, definitely.
This is an honor.
Definitely. So last question. What is, because you've been giving us such many gold nuggets, but what is like the biggest piece of wisdom or encouragement you can share with someone who's on the edge of saying yes or is on the fence for this business?
So that's an interesting one, because I don't want to give you encouragement. You don't need it. Like, why would you need that? You know deep down what you want and what you need. I don't want to encourage you and yeah, go for your dreams. Just go for it. You know, like I think we are at it, like there's so many of us that are so, like, for you to need someone else's motivation or encouragement, for you to take a step towards actually your soul destiny and your greatness, you will be eaten alive up here, so you're not ready.
Love that. Wow.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm saying this because I really feel like it's important for us to not piss in each other's pockets. Yeah. But if you truly desire to be within a conversation that is so embodied and so deeply rooted in purpose and change, in expansion and wealth consciousness, and literally like the most delusional normalized way of a whole new system for humanity, there you go. We're here.
Yes.
If you want to stay where you are in a world of complaint, in a world of struggle, in a world of waiting for the right time, in a world of underwhelm, stay where you are. It's just your choice. Because I tell you, if you want motivation from me, you're not going to get it, because I will eat you alive in this sphere. We're here doing big things because we're here in honor of what we came here to do. And so you would be eaten alive with the dust that I leave behind if you don't keep up. And all you need to do is want more for yourself in your life and your family and your soul.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
Right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. We're not here to try to convince anyone. And I love that you pointed that out. Yeah.
Very
It's not
true.
about encouraging anybody. It's about
We're
it's just
going anyways, right?
Yeah.
We're going anyways.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter to me what anyone does. I'm going with or without you. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You can either come and take the codes while we're here, take the codes, enjoy it, learn how to fish in a big stream, or stay at your stream, have 5 fish a day, feel safe in that, if that makes you feel safe, and just watch us. Watch us catch more fish and give more fish to feed others.
Yeah.
Up to you.
Yes. Yes. Thank you, Jax, so much for all of your wisdom and transmissions, and our fellow Pinay sister.
Yes.
Yeah, she's from Australia, so it's like it's been an honor having you here with us and sharing your wisdom and your transmission. And with that, I just want to share that there is a 2-day masterclass called Thrive in 2025, the Side Hustle Revolution, where you can actually learn more about this business model that Jax has been sharing about and how she's been able to transform her life and the lives of others. So if this is resonating with you, if anything has been calling for you and just feels like that nudge, like in your gut, that you're feeling like this is a yes, just reach out to one of us on our personal pages and we'll get that information to you. So thank you so much. We really love you.
Thank you, ladies. I appreciate you so much. Very excited. And am I going to see you in San Diego?
Yes, you will. Woohoo!
So exciting.
All right,
yeah. All right,
well,
ladies.
thank you again, Jax. We want to honor your time. Thank you, everyone, for watching again. Hit hashtag replay if you're watching the replay, and reach out to any one of us. And y'all have an amazing, magical morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you're at. We love you.
Love you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.